Thank you for having me at the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2021. As you've heard, my name is Judy Kefagona. From Sustainable Travel and Tourism Agenda, we are a consultancy in tourism that equips, enables, and empowers tourism organizations and stakeholders to embrace and practice sustainability. Today, I am here to join other panelists to talk about sustainability in tourism post-COVID-19. Let me start by congratulating UTB, Uganda Tourism Board, and partners for having the courage to organize Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo at such a time when tourism is in dire straits. I have seen messages that are heartbreaking on social media platforms where employees of tourism have been appealing for help from Kenyans to help them pay rent and take their children to school. I have seen many others who have said that this is the last time they are working in the tourism industry because they have been reduced to working as casuals and now earn as little as $10 a day for 2 weeks, and then they go for leave for another 2 weeks, unpaid leave. It has been a painful experience for many people, many employees of the tourism industry. I have seen young entrepreneurs questioning whether this is the industry for them, because every time they try to get up, if it is not struggling with policy and overcoming all policy hurdles and overcoming all other challenges related to setting up a small business, you now have this global pandemic that has put them out of business, and they're contemplating their choices, whether tourism is the industry for them. So yes, it takes courage to organize a tourism expo at this time. The global situation for tourism is grim by all measures. So it might seem ironical to be here today to talk about sustainability in tourism post-COVID-19. Some people may ask, do we even need to talk about sustainability, or we just want to recover and get to where we were before this pandemic? Now, tourism has been affected on many fronts. The numbers are available for all of us. We have seen them. We have read reports, country reports, reports by United Nations World Tourism Organization, and everything is about drops in tourism. Airlines have closed shop. Some have gone bankrupt. Some hotels are shut down. Others are on empty. Others are on transition, changing ownerships and changing management. The beds are empty. Jobs have been lost. Destinations that are dependent on tourism have lost GDP. The GDP has dropped. Some heritage sites are under threat. We have read about this. Conservation, particularly wildlife conservation in sub-Saharan Africa that is supported by tourism, is under threat from poaching and from loss of livelihoods for many people who are dependent on this industry. Community livelihoods are under threat from COVID-19. So tourism has been shaken. Every foundation of tourism has been shaken. Now, these foundations that have been shaken is what we should be thinking about when we talk about sustainability of tourism post-COVID-19. We are talking about how can we make this foundation stronger? What is it that we can add to make these foundations stronger than what they have been today. We may start by asking this question. Now that tourism has been growing exponentially in the last decade, was it a false sense of security that tourism will continuously grow? We may never get an answer to this question. What we know is that the foundations that were there need rethinking. Now, I always refer to the foundations that tourism has been built on as the more is more foundation. It means like if we build more infrastructure, we will get more arrivals. We have big airports, we have more airlines landing, we have highways going into our protected areas, we have more beds, more super brands, hospitality brands in our destination. Then we have more conference facilities. Then we will get more arrivals. Then we will get more revenue. Then we will create more jobs. And then we can invest more. And tourism will become bigger and bigger and bigger. The notion of limit to growth has not been part of the tourism vocabulary. So tourism has been built on a foundation of more is more. Now, COVID has revealed the vulnerabilities of this foundation of more is more. I have just said that we have not just empty hotel rooms, we also have brands that have left destinations. We know that a lot of the global luxury brands in hospitality do not invest in infrastructure in developing countries. Their strategy is to lease, and the lease starts from the building phase. So they have a say in design and everything, and then they manage that property with their brand. Now, when they leave shells, because those who are left behind don't know how to manage this kind of property. The property owners are not in the tourism industry. They have to wait to look for another potential management contract to manage these spaces. So chances are that now we have a lot of tourism elephants or white elephants in many destinations because of the concept foundations of more is more. So what is the way forward when it comes to sustainable tourism post-COVID-19? What can we do under these circumstances today? Now, we all know that the core elements of sustainability in tourism. In a nutshell, they always summarize to areas around care for people, care for the planet. We have got issues of fair trade. We've got issues of supply chain management. We have got issues of compliance with at destination levels. Then we've got issues of management, and we've got issues of governance. And in there are issues of employees as well. So these are the core areas of sustainability, almost covering every aspect of an organization. So we've always said at STTA that sustainability is a quality management approach that enables you to do business ethically, taking into consideration your clients, taking into consideration the place, the residents, your supply chain, so that you are a good global citizen. Now, nothing will change about these core areas of sustainable tourism or sustainability in tourism. What we will see is that there will be a shift in focus. There are some salient areas in sustainable tourism that destinations have not paid attention to. And so there will be a shift in focus in this area, in these areas, and there could be new entrants amongst the indicators for or elements for sustainability in tourism. So, number one, sustainability post COVID-19. Community well-being will be expanded into destination well-being. We all know there are indicators for community well-being, about relationships with communities, about benefit sharing with communities, about issues about equity in community partnerships. But now the community well-being will be expanded and something else will be included, what we now call destination well-being, will be at the core and a priority of sustainability post-COVID-19. Why? Because this health issue, COVID-19, will be with us for a long time. And so there will be health ratings that will come into the element of sustainability. So destination well-being will be measured, among other things, with the World Health Organization rating in terms of COVID-19. So we will see safe travel stamps for destination and safe travel stamps for travelers. So well-being is not just about having been vaccinated and so you can travel, but you would also want to know what is the health rating of these destinations. So destination sustainability will be determined also by the destination well-being, the health of the destination. We could start seeing a lot of voluntary rating schemes that could come around on the status of health of destinations. Another possible area that will receive attention post-COVID-19 in sustainability is that environment will acquire a new meaning. Until now, environmental considerations in sustainability or sustainable tourism have been about efficiencies in waste, efficiencies in water management, efficiencies in energy. It's been about restoration of places, restoration of species. There has been elements of climate change, but tourism has not been very active in addressing climate change. So it's been about conservation and preservation. Post-COVID-19, a greener and cleaner environment will be seen as a safe and resilient environment to disease. And this will give environment a prominent and priority in sustainability. And so there could be a change, a review in indicators again for environmental sustainability. And travelers will want to go to places that they know are doing something about protection of the environment, about reduction or reducing of global warming, so that the risk of disease outbreaks are managed. We know it has now been established that there is a correlation with some outbreaks and global warming. And so travelers will be conscious of what destinations are doing to minimize global warming. If there is a risk in a destination of any nature that points to that destination having risks and challenges of global warming, then travelers might not go to these places. Something else that we might see when it comes to destination sustainability will be the growth of tourism for residents and by residents. I know we always call this domestic tourism, but I'm avoiding this term because it is